All right, guys, so in light of the coronavirus and us having to cancel classes, each of us teachers is putting up some videos for you to practice at home. And so here I am in my home. I'm going to be doing a yoga class for dancers, so I'm going to do a lot of exercises for really opening up your hips and kind of deep stretches. A lot of them we're going to sit in for about a minute, so hopefully you should enjoy it. Try not to get too restless. And so yeah, moms, feel free to do this too. This will be great for you. Anything that you want to do in this you can. You just modify by putting a knee down, using a block or a pillow as you go through it. I've got my notes here, going to put on some music. Most of you know I have cats, so if one walks by or joins us, just enjoy it. And I will get started. Some music going. Alright, so we're going to start on our feet. Okay. And most of my modern dancers love this. Turn that down. So we're going to tuck our toes underneath us nicely. And we're going to sit up and just kind of sit into those feet, stretching out the back of the arches. A little timer here I'm going to set for us. Good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to curve our fingers underneath. We're just going to stretch out those wrists. Do pull back and try to stretch into your fingers. I have such bad finger flexibility, so mine's not very good. But you're going to want to just hold this position for a minute. Feel free to wiggle or adjust, whatever feels good. Pushing into the backs of those feet, stretching out through your wrists and hands. A couple more seconds. Release that, roll out your wrists a little bit, curl your fingers, and then now we're going to pull up on those feet. So you're going to pull one knee up and just really rock back into your toes. Switch to the other side, pulling them up underneath you. For some of my dancers, you might feel very comfortable pulling up both feet. Just let them adjust underneath you as you will. Good. Alright. Now we're going to push back onto the balls of those feet and kind of rest in. Just letting your head hang heavy. Feel free to shift around in this position. Twist out your legs a little bit. Reach those arms way forward as you open up the knees. And then just sit. Try and relax the back of the Achilles. So those Achilles tendons get a nice little release. More seconds. Alright, now we're going to open up those feet a little bit. Good. We're going to go into what we call the Buddha squat. Go ahead and just let yourself shift and twist. And then in our Buddha squat, basically you're just going to go here. You're just going to sit into those hips in a beautifully uncomfortable place and just hold for a minute. Breathe. little shift. Alright, now we're just going to do a standing. So we're going to bring our feet underneath us and we're going to hang over. Just going to let the back of your neck relax. Kind of float those feet around a little bit. Reach way out in front of you. Feeling the length down the back of the hamstrings, so from heels all the way up to sits bones. You're really stretching and releasing. Pulling the stomach up into the spine. And then gently release. Trying to keep our knees nice and straight. If you need to, you may absolutely bend. If you're one of my moms, feel free to have some blocks or put the hands on the shins. Just try to dangle for a second. Behind you, pulling a little tighter. Good, nicely done. All right, now we're going to do a little downward dog. So we're stretching back. All right, if you don't know downward dog, you want your feet to be hip-width apart. Hands, put a lot of energy into the fingers. We tend to just put it into the pads of the hand, and we want the fingers to be active too. You're going to think of your shoulders rolling back and down and pressing. So that way you're almost arching in that thoracic spine, and the tailbone is way up high, and you are trying to get your heels to the back of the mat. And we're just going to walk that dog a little bit. 1, and 2, and 3. And then give a little double press here. And 1, 2, little double press here. And again, 1, 2, and double press. And one more, 1, 2, double press. And push that head right into the middle. Stretching long, pulling up in your belly button. Actually is a very active stretch. Good, nicely done. All right, we're going to take a little twisting action in our downward dog. So what we're going to do is we're just going to shift into our arms, take the weight, and just kind of twist. And then push up and twist. So you're really getting those arm muscles activated. Twist. Up. And twist. Good, and now twist. Just kind of hook that foot in the back there. Find a nice little balance on the arm. And always rock into it. Do what feels good. Shift to the other side. Pushing back. What we're going to do is we're going to walk our feet up a little bit closer. So we're in more of a forced arch. And you're just going to bend into it. And then you're going to push the heel down as you stretch up. And again, bend in. And push the heel down as you stretch up. And bend in. And push. And bend in. And push. Couple more. Nice bend. And bend. And up. And one more time, we'll go into a nice little downward dog. Good. All right. Stretch that back for a sec. We're going to go into a V stretch. So what you're going to do is you're going to step your right foot or left foot forward. Okay. Now we're going to really lift up. We're going to spend a full minute in this stretch. So really lift. Nice breath in. Remember to keep your hips nice and square. It's no different than jazz class. Your sacrum is supposed to be straight up to the ceiling. We don't want to be twisted like this. Okay, you're here. Feel free to hip walks. Hold on to the shin. Do what you need to do. Again, if there's any of my moms that are wanting to join this too, walks are just fine, or pillows or anything. So we're going to settle in. We're just going to lengthen. And we're going to lower that head down. Just release and hold. Gaze should be going straight behind you. If you want a challenge, you can close your eyes. But watch that you're constantly fixing the hips. For my advanced dancers, if you want more of a challenge, feel free to bind. Good. 15 more seconds. Nicely done. Release that. Good. All right. And then we're going to shift our back foot here so that we can go into a triangle pose. So we're just going to turn this one out. We're going to shift our body as such. The important thing in the triangle pose is, again, that the hips are nice and level. So it's not so much about how flexible you can show yourself to be. It's more about lifting, making sure you're secure in that hip flexor, and then reaching the hand for the ground. And the eyes are up. Again, if you need a block here, if you want to put the hand here, but it is more important that you're staying engaged and you're holding on to the shape than it is to be flat on the floor. If you can put your gaze up, or you can also bind. Put the hand on the thigh for a little extra. Keep breathing in through the nose. Soften the knee, release the hand, give a nice stretch. Turn it over. Good, we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to go into a center stretch. Right here, you just want to release forward. Letting go of the back of those hamstrings again. Sorry, my cats are being a little bit distracting. Shift to the other side. I'm going to bring my phone with me so I can keep track of our minute. So again, we're going to go into our V shape, right? Notice in jazz, big thing, watch out that we square off our hips. We're nice and flat on the sacrum, we're pulling up in the belly. Nice and long. And then we're going to gently fold down. And then do not worry if one side is not as good as the other. My favorite thing about yoga is they always say each day is a new day. Oh, that's Winston. So every day is going to be a little bit different. Every side is going to be a little bit different. But just try to stay square, lengthen, release the head. Keep the eye gaze straight back through the knees. If you want a little more, you can shut the eyes. Or again, you can bind. It's definitely much more challenging. I don't recommend closing the eyes if you're binding. You might just fall over. Again, now we want the hips to square off towards our front. We're going to have our arm reaching straight down. We're going to shift up. My left hip, might be your right if you're mirroring me, is pulling forward, and I'm engaged in my obliques. And I'm engaged in my outside hip here so that I'm actively pulling and stretching. And then you want to look up to the ceiling if you can. If you can't, that's okay. Look down. Keep where your focus is. If you need a little more, you can take that hand, fold it under your thigh or on top of your thigh. Just breathe. Keep re-engaging, reaffirming. Nice job. Come out of that. Hand on knee. We're just going to take a nice little stretch here. Just quickly. And again. We're going to go through our center line. I'm just going to take a little stretch down. We're going to go through our center line. Let me take my phone back to the other side. Make sure I'm sticking to my notes. I am very known for going rogue. All right, so nice forward fold here. You can take your hands behind you, pull your shoulders back, and really lengthen and pull. Release the hands down. For my students that want a little bit more, you can do a little bitty inversion here. So put your head down on the mat. Pull up those feet. It's not necessary. And in an inversion, gently return the legs. Oh, back underneath you. Good job. All right, let's pull those legs back underneath us. Okay. Now we're going to go into a nice side squat here. All right, so from our second, we're going to turn this out. Just a nice side squat. In yoga, this is called ninja. And just settle into it. You can be pointed or flexed, whatever makes you happy. Put your hands where you want them. And we settle in for a minute. Just breathe. Alright, good. We're going to switch to the other side. Just gently. This is my much more comfortable side. And just settle in. Somebody wants me to play. Yes. We're not playing fetch. Okay. And coming back. Alright, good. We're going to turn ourselves into a nice lunge position. We're going to turn out our back foot. We're going to lift into a warrior one pose. Watch that you're nice and square. Arms are up. You're going to open to a nice little warrior two. Then we're going to take a nice little reverse. We're going to take that arm. You can put it right behind your thigh, or you can hold it on your leg. And you're going to keep your sternum lifted. And you're just going to bend into the stretch. I won't hold this one quite as long. It's a little tougher. Good. And then lift those legs up. We're going to shift back into our warrior. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this arm. Thread it under the other. Do a nice little bind and just hooking the hands in the back. Or you can keep it as such. Again, you want to stay lifted. We don't want to be sinking down into our position. I know my superstar. Come on. I'll play with you later, okay? Now we look up. And we lift and sit in. I know when. Good. Now get away. And we're going to take it into a nice plank here and stretch out those hips. Good. I'm going to take my other leg forward just so you can kind of see from the back the warrior position. So I'm going to turn that foot over. I'm going to think of my hips leaning forward. I'm going to lift here. Going to open a warrior. Now we're going to do our reverse. I'm going to stretch forward. And I'm just going to reach back. Again, if you want to bind, this hand goes on the thigh. You just really sit into it as much as you can. Keep breathing It's super easy to hold your breath on this one. And you're going to lift. Good. Catch your breath. Go back into your warrior. And then we're going to take a little twist here. Up. If you'd like to, if you want to bind, the hand goes right through the leg. The important part is that the shoulder is still pulling up to the ceiling. And that you are getting nice and deep into those hip flexors. Good. Take that into a nice plank. Winston, shh. He's very upset that I'm not playing with him right now. If I'm in this room, I'm supposed to be playing with him. Alright, so we're going to do a couple sitting, just since we've been doing all of that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our feet in a nice butterfly, but really, really tight and lifted. Pulling those knees open. This is called a seated cobblers. Nice arch back. And you're just going to reach forward into this position. Let yourself hang heavy. And try to keep those heels very close to you. Now walk your way up. Go ahead and let the feet go into more of the traditional butterfly so we can fold a little more deeply into those hips, and you can do this forward. You might be able to see better. So you can take your hands and hook one under and hook the other, and just allow that to help you pull yourself down into your feet. And if you're not there, no worries. Oh, here he comes again. Hello. Hi, Manny. Hi. You been a good boy? Yeah? You been a good boy? Jealous. He's just jealous. Keep breathing. Thinking of lengthening through the spine, so that you can be pulling those sit bones back and getting nice and deep into those hip flexors. Yes. I know. All right, now we're going to go into our child's pose, but it's an open child's. Our kids know this as frog, but nice open child's pose. So you can sit into it and really release. And what we want to do here is make sure that we're not sickling the toes down, that we are really trying to get the heels onto the ground so that the hips can open nicely, and we're pressing down in the butt so that the front opens. And it's okay if it's a little more open, or if we're a little more back into it, you can always take it as more of the traditional child's pose where you're kind of pushing into the hips. And some days this is what I need more than frog. I need to sit in my hips a little bit more. shift side to side. All right, couple more stretches. Now I'm just covered in my cat. We're gonna go to a runner stretch. So you're gonna take your right knee up in front of you. And what I'm gonna ask you to do is take your arm underneath and hook. So basically, I'm doing one of these maneuvers. And so I'm just kind of hooking, just really pressing, and feel yourself just kind of rocking into that hip flexor. So you're really feeling the deep crease. Again, the thing I need to stress a lot, especially to my dancers, is we have this tendency of like, oh, I'm flexible, I'll just go all the way down. And sometimes it's about holding back a little bit so that we get into the right position. So as you're here, really think of creasing into that hip flexor nicely. And then letting yourself rest on it. And then shifting slightly forward and back so that you can get into that hip flexor. And what I'm going to do is what we call dragon. So I'm going to release here. I'm going to walk my feet away from me a little bit. And then I'm just going to let myself twist my body. And I'll show you from this angle. So if I'm here, my feet are more on the edge of the mat, and I just kind of let myself twist and let my hips drop. The big important thing here too, a lot of the kids are super flexible and they just kind of sit and lay. But if you're not feeling anything, then you're not really doing anything. So I'm kind of twisting and feeling the stretch up in the IT band, up in my obliques. I have my hand on my knee and I'm just kind of letting myself rock into that and give myself a nice twist. Go ahead and drop the knee there. Good. Again, you want the shoulders to be strong and lifted. We're going to pull this back. Go ahead and pick up that back knee for just a moment. Just a little stretch. I'm wearing my cat now. Good. Alrighty. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this foot back underneath us. So it's my right leg, but again, if you're mirroring me, it may be your left. We're going to shift ourselves to the side for a nice little side plank. Just kind of gives you a little bit of a stretch. Big thing here. Push those hips up, nice and strong, so you're really lifted. You can keep it here, you can lift a leg. We're going to try to do a couple presses, so you can go down, then you're going to press up, and 2, and up, 3, and up, 4. My modern 3 love it when we have to do this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, Winston is dying to get my attention. He is just all over. And stretch back. Push into that downward dog. You're going to lift your right leg up, or the outside leg, whatever leg is mirroring me. Good. Going to bring it in underneath you into pigeon. Now, first thing we're going to do is actual pigeon. So we're going to be nice and lifted. And then what I want you to do is I want you to pick up your back foot. And again, if this is it, this is it. You go with where you are today, right now. If you can, grab it with your other arm. And you're going to pull. This is challenging for me because I don't have very tight, I have tight shoulders. So you're going to pull and you're going to try to open your chest up. Yeah, this one's hard for me. This is much more active than our regular pigeon stretch. And release. And then pull the foot into the hip a little bit more deeply. Good. Now we get to go into a resting pigeon or a sleeping pigeon. This is where we're going to settle in and kind of reach out. And try to make sure you're square. Don't just shift into your happy spots. Challenge the hips a little bit. You should feel that hip dropping back and down, so there's definitely some nice compression in the hip flexor. And you can stay here. You can go down. Or if you need more, you can take the opposite arm and thread it through. A few more seconds, just breathe. Walk your way back up into that. Ooh. Oh. Stretch yourself back, let yourself shift a little. All right. We are going to go to the opposite side. So I'm going to do a little walk around so you can see me. But, so again, we are going to put ourselves in our runner stretch. We're going to have our hand nice and sturdy. Our opposite one's going to hook under and just grab our bicep. We're going to really think about lengthening down the back of the heel. Okay, and feeling that nice lift. And that idea of being very square, very open in the hips. So the psoas here should be getting a nice, really sturdy stretch and reach back as it's going. Lily! Lily! Shh, don't touch the camera. Lily! Lily! Come here. Oh, she's dying to touch the back of that camera. And go ahead and twist into that dragon. So you're reaching in the opposite direction. And you're feeling yourself lifted. The shoulders stable. You're not sinking. And you're feeling that IT band. Get a nice stretch. It's a twist. Again, everything is very active. People think yoga is just all relaxation, and it's not. It's very active stretching. Active movement. Now we're going to let the knee drop down a bit, and we can kind of sit in it. Feeling the stretch on the outer hip as you're really twisting. And bringing yourself back forward. Good. Reaching the leg back. Nice stretch through. We're going to go into our pigeon. So lifting this leg up. Give it a nice little stretch out. And bringing it underneath us. We're going to let that foot walk away a little bit. Nice lift. And then pick up that back foot. This is more about opening up the shoulders. Again, we struggle really hard with this one. So if you're not able to do this, just hold it with one hand, or just stay up originally, the way I had it. So kind of level 1, level 2, and then level 3. Just opening up, watch the foot doesn't flop to the side. You're trying to keep it vertical. pigeon. So again, watch that your hips are square. Okay, pour over like this. It's not quite the same. You want your leg to line up right behind you on the mat. You want to make sure those hips are nice and square. And then you can stay just like this. You can walk your hands out a little more. Head down. Current pose. If you're ready for a little more, just take that hand, you're going to thread it under. If you need a lot more, you can open this up, but nah, mine doesn't do that. Just about another 30 seconds. Take that leg back. Whew. All right. I realize I forgot the side plank on this side in between, so let's just go there. Can't leave one side out. So find your side plank. Again, we want to stay lifted here. Don't sink in the shoulder. Watch that the arm is straight up. A lot of time, my students, this is what I see, or this is what I see. Sometimes being flexible, you don't find the strong line. So really push up from the earth, through shoulder to shoulder, and up out of fingertips. And then we lower 8. So we have 1, and up 2, 2, and up, 3, up, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 more, 8. Good. And turn that back around. Nice little downward dog. Let me check what I got us going to now. Okay. It looks like we're done. So we're in our downward dog. I'm just going to kind of bring it down then. So bring those knees underneath you. We are going to end with Shavasana. Shavasana is where you take just a few seconds to show gratitude for the work you've done. I'm not going to lie, it's probably one of the things I have the hardest time with as somebody who has such a busy brain. I'm always thinking, but it is important at the end of every yoga practice to take a minute or two to just recenter yourself and to kind of de-stress, especially in times like right now when we need those moments to go, it's gonna be okay. So you're just gonna lay back. I will set a little timer, make sure that we stick to our 2 minutes. Alright, timer. We're gonna go for 1 minute and 59 seconds. Alrighty, so on your backs. Just take a second. Hug your knees in real quick. Rock side to side. I know usually this is the point where I'm like, oh, I'm done. But you're not. You still got 2 more minutes. Good. If it feels better, you can put your feet together in cobbler's pose and lay like this. Just watch that we don't get too archy. Or you can stretch your legs straight out. Hands, If the palms are on the earth, then you are giving energy from yourself back into the ground. So if there are any negative, stressful things, sometimes I'll start this way to just try to release myself of stresses and anxieties. And then if you flip it up, it's taking in the energy from around you. So taking in that positivity, that can be part of your day. Anyways, take a second, get comfy, close your eyes, and just breathe. Start with a nice inhalation in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Make sure that your tongue is not sticking to the roof of your mouth. Let your jaw be open and heavy. Alright, that's our alarms. And just bring movement in your hands and feet. If you want to, you can keep doing this for much, much, much longer. And usually 2 minutes is kind of my time. Roll over to your side. Take a nice breath. Gently pull yourself up off the floor. Find a nice seated position. Take a nice breath in. Do it again. Nice breath in. And then breathe out. And I hope you enjoyed. It's a super good, stretchy way to start your day and activate yourself. So I encourage you to do it many, many times. Make your parents do it with you, moms and dads, siblings, whoever. Yoga's for everybody. Thank you. Namaste.